What's good? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering a long-awaited topic of why did I get rid of my Summit and why I switched back to Polaris. Now if you guys want to know why I switched to Skidoo in the first place, there's a whole separate video on that. I'll link it in the description. If you're new here, to give you a basic summary of why I did that. My snow check was going to be late once again, and I wanted to try something new out, not only for me, but for the channel, and it just did not work out, so I went back to what I know. Like I said, if you guys want to see more on that topic, I will link it down below. Why did I switch back from Skidoo to Polaris is what a lot of you are wondering, and that is what I'm here to cover today. Let's start with our first trip on that Skidoo. We arrived at the Upper Peninsula. We're all geeked up to ride the Skidoo and see what it's like. And we get a couple miles down the trail and it is not running right. I cannot go wide open throttle without it losing power and bogging out. And that was due to the clutching. So it was clutch for high elevation because it came from out west. That was my fault. I take full responsibility for that. I should have known that. I should have checked that before I even got on the sled. So day one was a disaster. I had to go to the dealership, spend a few $100 to get those clutch weights swapped out. And I got the sled back and I'm like, all right, tomorrow's gonna be a good day. This sled's gonna run great. I am stoked, let's go. Next day we get on the sled and the first part of the day it was running really well. It felt pretty strong. It had a lot of power. It didn't have a lot of bog or really honestly any bog at all. The clutch weights obviously solved a lot of that issue. Midway through the second day we hit a little spot and I wanted the Summit to wheelie because I just like to wheelie and I'm like, these Summits are meant for this. I had my limiter strap set. I had my shock set. I was ready to walk that front end. Well, I go to wheelie a few times and it just wasn't there. You put it to the bar and you just lose your power and bog out. And I'm like, that's weird. I wonder if it has to do with the can. I don't know what's going on here because this thing is not picking up the skis and Brandon's free ride is picking up the skis like nothing. It should be doing that. So I kept trying and it was like kind of popping the front end up, but it didn't have enough power because it was missing power somewhere to keep it up and keep going. So I was like, all right, that's weird, whatever. We continue down the trail, keep riding. And as we do that, I'm starting to hit the gas more, and I'm noticing more and more a mid to high RPM bog. And I'm like, this is weird. This is like my 850 situation with the Pro all over again. Why is it doing this? Keep riding the rest of the day, doing this little bog situation. We're on our last stretch of trail back to the Wildlife Refuge cabins where we're staying. And I put it to the bar because I wanted to see what this thing could do. And it fell flat on its face. It almost completely killed itself with a bog. Pulled up to a stop sign and there was hardly any power to even get the sled to the stop sign. And that's kind of where I was like, all right, what is it? It's not the clutch weights anymore. The only thing I can think of that could be causing this is either the intake or the spark plugs. So we limped it back to South Range. That night we swapped a new set of spark plugs in because I actually had them with me. Next day we hit this little stretch of trail between our cabin and the stop sign. It's about a mile or so. And I just went to go give her to see if these spark plugs fixed it. Nope, nothing, same exact situation. At that point, I've had enough. I was like, this is it. This is literally ruining my trip. And if I keep doing this all season, trying to fix it, and then it breaks, and then fix it, then it breaks, and chasing down problems, I'm never gonna get a good ride in. What we ended up doing was we drove it back to the cabin, put it in the trailer, and took it up to the dealership. Now, originally, I wanted the dealership to look at it to see what the issue was, but they had a Pro RMK brand new sitting on the lot that had no recalls that needed to be done for it to sell. It was ready to go out the door, and as soon as I walked in, it was sitting there, and I was like, all right, this is probably coming home with me. So we dropped the sled off, they take a look at it, and they're like, your fuel pump, it's your fuel pump that's bad. Your sled is under warranty. You have like, I think I had 2 weeks of warranty left on that. They're like, we could probably get it covered under warranty. As they're telling me all these things about the warranty and the fuel pump and this and that, and why it's not running right, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, do I really want this sled? Do I really like this sled? Is this something that I want to ride all season? Am I going to be happy on this? And the answer to each and every one of those was no. As they were telling me these things about the warranty and the fuel pump, I was like, what do you want for that Pro? They gave me a number on the Pro, and I said, what do you want to give me for my Summit? They gave me a number on the Summit. We ended up working things out, and I ended up walking out with that brand new Pro. I sold the sled off to them because they were a BRP dealership, and they had access to the warranty, and they were going to be able to get it fixed under warranty. Whereas if I wasn't able to get it fixed under warranty, I would have to pay out of my own pocket, and that would be dumping my own money into a sled I don't even want in the first place, which should have been completely dumb. So in that situation, it was best for me to give that sled to the dealership, let them fix it, and me take something that I actually want, actually like to ride, and actually enjoy. My main reasoning behind that was I just didn't want to fix it. I didn't want to put money into that sled. I didn't really like it. I was trying so hard to get myself to like that sled. I was like, okay, this ain't that bad. I'm gonna get used to this. This is something I get used to. And it just never happened. Like, I never felt comfortable. I never felt like I'd be able to do half the things I could do on my Pro. It felt heavy to me. It felt awkward. It was completely foreign coming off of riding Polaris my whole life to switching to a Skidoo completely foreign, and I was not a fan of it. And it was really just like putting a downer on my trip and downer on my season already that early, thinking I'm gonna have to ride this all year. Like, it just was not something for me. Now, did I give Skidoo, did I give the Summit a fair try? I would say no. I would say I didn't give it a fair try. Snow conditions were below average. They were pretty awful. Sled wasn't running right, and I didn't even get to spend 3 days on the sled before I decided I didn't want it. So I did not give the Summit a fair try. I will give you guys that, but I could just tell off rip. Like, can you ever just tell when you don't like something that you're just not gonna like it? That was me riding that sled. As much as I tried to convince myself that it wasn't that bad and I'm gonna get used to it, I could just tell deep down this wasn't something I was ever gonna enjoy or something I was ever gonna love fully like I love riding the Polarises. And in that moment, when they were telling me about the fuel pump and the warranty, and they had the sled I actually wanted sitting on the lot, I was like, let's just get this over with. Let's clean my hands of this and let's move on to something that I could actually enjoy. And that's how I ended up with the Pro. Would I ever try a Skidoo again? Probably would if I went out west. I wouldn't own one, but I would go out west, maybe rent a Gen 5 for a day and see what I think of it, just to kind of compare it to a Pro, and that way I don't own it, so if I don't like it, harm no foul. But overall, it was a messy season for sleds. Obviously, Snow Check did not come in on time. Bought a Summit, hated it, bought the exact same sled I sold, just brand new, and never ended up with a Snow Check, and it was a mess. It was a mess. I've lost so much money on that Summit between the money I put into it for mods and actually buying the sled and what I got for trade-in. I lost thousands of dollars doing that. It was one of the dumbest things I've done, because I could have just saved my money, sat that trip out, and waited for my Snow Check to come in and taken all the money from my old Pro and put it down on the Chaos, and I would have been 100% happy. But instead, I went ahead and bought the Summit to try something new, built it how I'd want it to be built, and just ended up not liking it, which sucks because, like I said, I lost a lot of money on that deal. And by the time I had the 22, my Snow Check came in shortly. It wasn't financially smart for me to go ahead and take the Snow Check, being that I just lost so much money on the Summit. I just moved out, and I just bought this brand new 22 Pro RMK. You know how it is, when you buy something brand new, you lose the value as soon as you take it off the lot. So that sled, I paid this for it, and now it's worth this. So I would have lost even more money that I already lost that season. So I had to cut it off somewhere, and I cut it off at the Snow Check. And I wish I would have taken the 9R. I wish I didn't do the Summit. I wish I didn't buy this 22, but it is what it is. It's the way things happen. I just want to make this quick video letting you guys know why I switched back from Polaris to Skidoo, because I know a lot of you were wondering. We do have a lot of things in the works, so not only for this channel, but we are going to be starting something new here this summer with a couple of my buddies. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for the announcement on that. That's going to be in a couple weeks. With all that being said, if you guys like today's video, smash a huge thumbs up on today's video. Comment section below, let me know what you thought of today's video and your thoughts on me switching back from Skidoo to Polaris. And guys, we are so close to 20,000 subscribers. We are, I believe, like 17 away at this moment. Are new here or been watching for a while and you're not ready to subscribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I've been riding, rolling, drinking, smoking. That's something I do. I've been hiding all of my emotions.